All right, folks, welcome back to Delivering More.
Welcome.
We're back in the beautiful Pro Football Hall of Fame city of Canton, Ohio. Another great Friday in the books.
And a great place, yeah.
We had another thank you to our viewers. If you're a DeliverThat driver on the platform, another record-breaking week.
Oh, love you guys.
We just had a beautiful catered lunch from Chick-fil-A in the office this week.
Oh, yeah. Chicken tenders, chicken nuggets. We got that kale salad. We got that fruit.
The chicken wraps.
The chicken wraps, man. Those things are good. All those sauces. No more shortage of sauces, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and that's all thanks to you guys, right? You guys are the ones out there taking the deliveries, and we can't say how much we appreciate you. I mean, obviously we can say it because we do, but it's very difficult to express it in the way we actually feel. So always thanks to you guys. You guys are the reasons we're here, and this is all for you guys. So moving on, this episode, we have a great guest, Megan with Tocaya Organica, a great modern Mexican brand out in LA, San Diego, and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
They're
unique.
Very unique. Do you want to touch on that at all?
Yeah. They use as much locally sourced ingredients as they can, and they still do a lot of catering, which is pretty unique if you ask me. Anybody who has sustainable, delicious food, it's just a step in the right direction.
Right, all locally sourced. Yep. Great. You're getting quality and quantity. It's always when you get the best of both worlds, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, we have another Know Your City segment. Can't wait to get into that. I think today we're doing Miami. So, we're going to get another driver here. They're going to get another opportunity to get a $15 incentive on that next delivery. Mm-hmm. Always bringing great opportunities to these individuals and hopefully having great interactions with you guys as well moving forward.
Yeah, this is going to have a lot of good information for both contractors. Also, if you work in a restaurant or catering operation, there's great information in there here as well. And also some fun stuff like the Know Your Driver or Know Your City segment. So let's get after it.
All right, let's get into the interview. We are joined by our guest, Megan with Tocaya. Megan, how are you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers quickly?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am the senior catering manager for Tocaya. It's modern Mexican is kind of our tagline. We're in the Southern California and Arizona area, currently with 18 units on the Tocaya side and growing fast. We're very excited. I've been with the company for 4.5, almost 5 years now, and just excited to see where we're going.
Awesome to hear. So this podcast more or less is going to hopefully be viewed by the independent contractors of the world and the gig drivers. That's kind of who we're trying to gear this towards. Are you able to speak to why the independent contractors or the delivery drivers are such a key point in the delivery process and what they can really do to make a difference or make the delivery process as seamless as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I know for us, it is a huge help to have that kind of last mile service on a catering delivery. I think any restaurant's goal is always to have someone who works for the brand do that, just because you have that kind of representation in front of a client that's ordering something off premise. But that's like a huge undertaking to be able to do that. So for us, finding brands that we like and trust and are reliable, that have amazing drivers that are kind of more well-versed in our brand. We have kind of some of the same drivers that go to the same locations all the time. So for us, that is a huge help just to be able to kind of close that end of a catering delivery, and being able to provide that service for clients, because if we didn't have that, we really wouldn't have a catering program in general.
Yeah, we hear that a lot from restaurants that, trying to manage a fleet of drivers, vehicles, or whatever is a lot of work when you're trying to run a restaurant, and especially like lately. So since you started at Tocaya dealing with catering, and also even more so, I wanted to ask, since the pandemic, have you guys seen an uptick in the amount of catering or off-premise orders, obviously because people aren't wanting to go out in public?
I would say we didn't see a huge uptake in catering. We saw a huge uptake on the restaurant level of just that like on-demand ordering. So if you're looking at like Postmates, Uber, like those types of orders, we definitely saw an increase in that. Catering for us, because the majority of our catering is going into offices, we didn't see a huge uptake because everybody went home and worked from home for the majority of 2020. 2021 has been a really different story. We've definitely seen increases in orders. Um, and I think kind of the biggest trend that we're seeing right now is the need for individually packaged orders, which is something that we're still trying to navigate effectively. And it makes, I mean, from a delivery standpoint, I know it makes it trickier because the order total from a like financial standpoint is the same, but there's a much larger volume that's going out of the restaurant.
The difference between tray style catering or any kind of larger packaging catering as compared to individual boxes is night and day. You know, it's always so important for drivers to be aware of like what they're getting into because they have to have more bags, they have to have the space in their car, all that kind of stuff.
Let's
Yeah.
keep going down the packaging realm though. I know, we love your guys' packaging specifically, and you guys kind of have a very, brand aware, bright blue boxes that I think are really, really poignant to kind of make your customers very aware and appreciate, what you guys are able to bring to the table. Can you guys speak to, is there a reason you guys prepare your catering deliveries like that if they're not individually packaged? We can obviously pull up a picture here. Jim can pull it up. We'll show like our viewers the setup photos we have, those bright blue boxes. Can you just maybe elaborate on anything you guys chose specifically to use those, or what that packaging can really do for you guys as an end goal?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that was a very fun but very long project just to kind of get all of those components to work together to make sure that, the colors were on brand, to make sure that the packaging itself that we were using was on brand. We always kind of try and evaluate things from a user perspective of like, is it an effective and efficient packaging, but also, does it kind of fall in line with our brand standard of, kind of trying to reduce things that can't be recycled or like it's hard to do that with catering, so it's a lot of things that are single use items, but we try and use a lot of things that can be recycled, that are compostable, that are, like kind of fall within that category. So we spent a lot of time really working that out and making sure that, we were kind of staying in line with that. But ultimately, as you said, like the end product is super fun. It's pretty. So when you're like ordering a catering setup from Tocaya, it's going to look nice versus just kind of a like dropped kind of standard catering that's coming in just like generic bags and generic colors. It's unique to us, and it makes us stand out with the other brands that are out there.
Yeah, there's always that balance too, and you guys do such a great job at it. I remember when I was in Phoenix with my brother and I saw you guys' boxes in person in his trunk. The balance between having great branding, which I know is important in general when you're delivering a catering order, but also having something that's feasible for travel. It's travel friendly, and finding that
Hmm.
balance. You guys have done a phenomenal job in that with that beautiful blue color. And we always say very similar to DeliverThat, but a little bit different actually.
It's a little bit different hue,
A little bit different
a little
hue.
lighter, a little brighter maybe.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, you guys do a great job at that.
And I think, your guys' packaging specifically, like you touched on a little earlier, the catering aspect of things is usually going to, business offices and hospitals or doctors' offices and a lot of typical things like that.
Hmm.
So having a presence when these deliveries are getting dropped off, instead of, your typical like aluminum foil pans that just kind of get set up and whether they have chafing dishes or not, I think bringing that different aspect where should someone from another office walk by and see those boxes sitting there, should someone in the hospital room walk by and see those boxes in the break room, well, that'll definitely get like a second glance, like, hey, wait a second, what are those? That looks amazing. Why? I think I want to get those. How do I get those? Where do I get those? Who are they from? I think immediately seeing a great setup and great packaging will lead to so many questions that easily leads to more business.
Yeah. And I know in general, like just when I had seen the empty boxes, I realized, I seriously, the empty boxes, because I realized, we've seen so many types of packaging, delivering so many catering orders for so many brands. I mean, it really just stood out. And I think everybody in every restaurant could definitely take a piece of that and really maybe style their catering something similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say that for us too is a huge thing of just, catering in general. You can reach out to offices and touch base with people and just like let them know that you're there and what, but until they have a need for it, it's not like everybody eats lunch every day, but not everybody needs a catering setup every day. So having something that's memorable, having something that, it's like, oh, wait, do you remember that, we saw that thing a couple of weeks ago in that other office. So just kind of having that word of mouth and having that ability to kind of just like pop for people is really useful for us just in being able to kind of drive more sales.
For sure. I think, like we're speaking about the catering side of things, does the opportunities that catering itself brings to your business, obviously, like we're saying, it gets, the eyeballs in front of so many more people instead of just this single use customer interaction. You're immediately getting your brand in front of 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 plus people, I assume sometimes. So is there an aspect to the side of catering where it makes it so much easier to have that word of mouth spread about the brand, about the business? What kind of opportunity does catering really bring to your guys' business?
For us, it really just kind of sets the restaurants up for a smoother day. If that makes sense, like because catering is off premise, you can look at the majority of catering orders are going out between, say like 11 and 1. So, when you're starting your day off with a big buffer of sales, restaurants in general obviously always try and like keep labor as tight as possible because that's like the biggest opportunity when you're looking at, running a successful shift to make cuts. So when you're starting your day with a bigger chunk of sales from catering, you have more of a cushion to be able to keep your staff, to be able to maybe not, if you're having a very slow day, and you're
Right.
looking at
Just
having to
bump
cut
those
people,
numbers
but you
up.
already know that you have that opportunity to really like run a smoother shift because you're not having to make those decisions in the middle of the day.
Sure. And it could eliminate some foot traffic within the store, obviously with the labor shortage and things like that. There's,
Hmm.
like you said, you're getting that business almost out the door before your store's even open sometimes. I know we have pickup times set at like 10:45, and sometimes your stores aren't even open till 11 a.m. So if those orders can be prepped out the door before the store is even open, you already increase your bottom line before you actually had your business hours operating. So I think that obviously it's just a huge opportunity for all parties involved.
Hmm.
Moving along, do you think, like you mentioned, your off-premises action with, Postmates and Uber and things like that, do you think there's things that specific independent contractors or gig drivers can do to separate themselves from the pack to make themselves, like obviously, showing up on time for a pickup and showing up looking prepped and looking decent, showing up with equipment like the catering bags or thermally insulated equipment is obviously what you would expect of any gig driver or hope that they have. But are there any other things that you think really could separate these individuals from the pack and kind of, make their experiences above and beyond for these customers?
Yeah, I mean, for me, just having kind of a general familiarity with the brands that they're delivering. So, like for us, I love it when drivers are familiar. I like it when, they've tried our food and when they are excited about our brand, because I feel like that really carries through when they're standing in front of a client doing a delivery where, not that we ever expect a driver to be able to answer questions specifically about our brand, but, when they kind of can. Or, when they're able to take that next step of communication, if a client has a question and they're like, let me call, like, save our catering phone line so that they can then call and say, hey, I'm at this delivery drop. The client had this question, can you answer that for them? And I know a lot of your drivers too are really great at helping the clients with the setup. So when they get to the delivery site, they're, instead of just dropping the boxes and going, taking that extra step to get everything out on the table and laid out nicely and laid out properly. And that too kind of comes with that increased knowledge of our brand and how we kind of like a flow of a catering order to go. So to me, that is like a really great thing. And we do actually have a lot of regular clients that will request specific drivers. If they place orders more often and they kind of get familiar with your driver fleet in that area and they know which drivers kind of provide them the service that they expect.
For sure. And like you said, I know you just mentioned you have specific customers requesting specific drivers. I know in the Phoenix market, we have a very specific customer who requests one specific driver every time. And like you said, it's simply about the expectations that customer had and the fact that you guys and then our service as well as our driver was easily able to meet those expectations. And whether they went above and beyond or did exactly what they were expected to, they made the process as seamless and easy as possible for that customer. And in turn, that, individual is obviously ordering from you guys very consistently, whether it's week over week, month over month, what have you. Like you said, just building the relationships with the brand, the driver, and then the customer. It's just, not a convoluted relationship, but it's like a love triangle between the three, right? Like, how do we all navigate between each other and make sure everyone's happy at the end of the day?
Yeah, because a lot of drivers out there, they really do want to make an impact, right? They want to, with a lot of the gig jobs, people just trying to make quick money and things like that. Sometimes you do have, like he said, maybe not necessarily convoluted, but there's not much of a relationship at all between the restaurant, the driver, and the customer. So it's really important, like you just shared, to show what you look for, like in an independent contractor when they come and pick up the food, because some of them are out there and they really do want to create a relationship, maybe repeat customers, and they really do want to create a living out of this. So it always makes a difference when they hear like, hey, creating relationships is one of the most important aspects of being an independent contractor.
Yeah. And for us too, that's something where like, if we have a driver that wants to do more deliveries with us, they like to kind of pick up our deliveries more often. And there is something that we can do to kind of make that a smoother transition for them. That's always something that we're open to learning about as well. Communication is such a huge thing for me, where I'm always just like, I can't fix problems that I don't know about. If there's an issue or if there's an opportunity to be better and to do better, on our side, I always want to know that, it may not always be something that we're actually able to do. Like, it may just be kind of one of those things that we just can't address. But if there is ever a time where we can make things better, we do want to know that. And I feel like most restaurant brands would feel the same way.
Right.
Sure. And I know you were kind of speaking about your guys' hotline and how you guys communicate with maybe us or other service providers you guys utilize. Have you guys, I guess maybe not necessarily realized, but had an experience where maybe previously in the past you guys only communicated through your stores directly, and then you moved and transitioned over to where you're operating through a hotline process? So when we reach out to you guys, we're not reaching out to these stores directly. We're reaching out to you specifically, you're as our point of contact with Tocaya, so we have one individual reaching out with, so they know what's happening. They can then relay to the stores, and then, there's not this game of phone tag where, then we get into he said, she said battles, and, everyone's pointing fingers. It's like, no, who you're reaching out to at DeliverThat. We know who we're reaching out to at Tocaya with you. And then all these messages can easily get relayed, problems get solved, and things are handled much easier.
We actually have always run our catering centrally. So the stores have never really been the primary point of contact. Obviously, they sometimes are the best point of contact for like quick and, like, did the order leave the store? I obviously work remotely, so I don't always know, like, it can take me a little bit more time to get those answers. I'm always kind of the best first resource, but for real time, like live updates, the restaurants are the best. But we always have found that it kind of gives a more consistent and a better service to people when they do have that one. When you're calling Tocaya Catering, you're going to talk to me or you're going to talk to my coordinator. One of us is always going to be on the phones. Our phone line is set up so that, if you can't get through to us, you can request a callback, or you can text our catering hotline, and that'll get forwarded through to us as well, so that we, can really be available whenever clients need us to step in and help, fix something.
Yeah. And in our experience too, we've always noticed when you have multiple locations like Tocaya does, it's always good to have that central point of contact, because obviously when you're in the store, you're making food, you're really busy. Maybe you have, customers sit down if that's how your business works and all that kind of stuff. So having a central point of contact when there's multiple locations is always the best. Gets the answer to the driver quicker, gets the answer to you guys quicker, all that kind of stuff. So we do appreciate that.
Awesome. I know, we're doing this for the second time around here, Megan, so I don't want to keep you here too long this time, but we have like a little quick money round, a little fast Q&A. We got a quick,
Oh,
we got
goodness.
4 questions. So we just need, spitball these answers. Some of them we're going to be putting you on the spot a little bit. Nothing too crazy,
Okay.
but just give us your best answer as quick as possible. Maybe we can elaborate on all of them after. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So first question, pick a city, LA, San Diego, or Phoenix.
San Diego.
Ooh, all right, San Diego. And we asked that because that is where
Curious.
Tocaya is located, right? LA, San Diego, and Phoenix. I was very interested
Yeah.
to see which one you would choose. Did you have a reason you picked that one specifically?
Without a lot of context to the question, mostly because there's just a lot more outdoor activities there. I love LA. I live in LA. I love LA. I'm probably never going to leave, but I love visiting San Diego. It's a super fun city to explore.
Yeah, Tristan, have you been out to California? I've never
Yeah,
been.
yeah, I've
Okay.
been to San Diego once, but we'll call your Phoenix stores and let them know you were choosing San Diego.
All right. Next question. Favorite menu item at Tocaya?
Ooh. Right now I'm on a taco combo kick. We
Okay.
have a pina pastor taco that has a pineapple salsa on it. That's
Mm.
just absolutely amazing.
That sounds
fantastic.
good.
Yeah, you guys should come to Ohio.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Next one. Favorite brand that is not Tocaya?
Restaurant specifically?
Yeah, preferably.
Like outing myself of how much I don't go out to eat.
She just says like Home Depot.
Yeah, like you got HelloFresh. Are you making those home cooked meals all the time? That's a brand. No free ads, but
I do cook at home a lot. I would say, oh my God, I don't know that I have a favorite. I don't think I have a favorite. Like,
what
I always
about
try and try something new when I go out.
Yeah.
what about LA specific? What's the burger like In-N-Out or what's the other one? Do you have like
Not Five Guys, Whataburger,
Fat Burger.
Fat Burger.
That is that your go-to if
Fat
you get it?
Burger. Fat Burger is my go-to only because, well, I shouldn't say only because, a primary reason is that I am a vegetarian and Fat Burger has a lot of options. I really don't eat fast food
Mm-hmm.
until I realized that they had options that I could actually eat.
Right.
So they're usually my go-to for like that style of
All
restaurant.
right. Yeah. Well, good for Fat Burger, giving these people all these options they need, right? So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And last thing is very simple. It's not even really a question, but any social tags that the viewers can reach out to, find you guys on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You specifically. Is there any place you guys are posting things? Deals, anything these people can be looking out for?
Yeah, usually our social media is going to be the best place for updates, for deals. It's the most frequent place that we will send, updates. Usually our stories, if we're like running any promos, if we like to try and celebrate all of the national holidays that we
For
can,
sure.
like National Margarita Day and,
Mm.
National Happy Hour Day is in November, and like, just fun things that we can do to keep things, alive.
What
But
are those handles?
our social media, so our Instagram is Tocaya Organica.
Mm-hmm. That's with
So
two
they
A's.
can, tag it, they can hashtag it, all the things. So that's going to be really the best place to do that. You can also tag like Tocaya Life if you're not in Tocaya specifically, but you love the brand and you're familiar with the brand and you're like doing something awesome outdoors, you can always tag Tocaya Life as well. And that will also get to us.
Perfect.
Before we go to the closing here, do you know what day National Happy Hour is? It at Tocaya? You have National Happy Hour Day? Is that what you're saying?
It's like a national day.
Okay. Because I'll be in
Same
Arizona. I'll be in
November.
Arizona in November, and I might have to stop by Tocaya if you guys.
Ooh,
Yes.
you definitely should.
Okay.
Highly recommended.
All right.
Highly recommended.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, Megan. Well, thank you so much for joining us a second time. We really, really appreciate you taking the time out again to join us. If you need anything, you reach out to Cody, you reach out to me, Tristan. Obviously, we're in contact with you, pretty consistently. So I'm sure we'll hear from you tomorrow morning, if anything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hopefully
tomorrow
not
morning.
on a Saturday. Let's all pray for a
true,
smooth weekend,
true.
shall we?
Of course. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Dang, that was a great interview with Megan from Tocaya.
Yeah, man. That's what I was gonna say. I hope Jim can get the editing down so we get pictures of those setups while we're speaking to her, because those boxes, man. I know the drivers in Phoenix and LA and San Diego obviously probably have experienced the brand and seen those out there, but for the drivers across, all our other cities and other metros, I think seeing a brand like that who takes so much pride in their packaging and their catering specifically, I think it just speaks volumes to, what they're trying to do, and realistically, why our partnership with them is in such a good spot and where it is today, right?
Oh, I mean, they definitely stand out. And I mean,
sure.
It's so many restaurants, so many brands in this world. It's something just in general to stand out like that.
Yeah. And the locally produced and all that good stuff. I mean, they're taking so many good steps to just be an absolutely massive brand here. I would say in the coming years, I think they're going to blow up. So
yeah, I mean, if you got a color similar to the DT blue, you're probably going to blow up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think there's no coincidences here. The DT blue, the Tocaya blue, a lot of intermingling, intertwining. There's reasons. But yeah, I mean, from there, let's get into this Know Your City segment. Mm-hmm. And Jim, can you generate us a driver, sir? Today we're doing Miami.
Yep, Miami.
We got our 3 questions ready. Let's get this driver some cash, right, Jim? Who do we got? Tick, 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 tick.
Daniela G.
Daniela.
Damn, that's a good option.
That is a good option. Let's give her a ring.
All right, let's do it.
You got that queued up?
All right, hold on here. Yep.
Make sure we get that on speakerphone.
Daniela G.
Oh, yeah.
There
Live
she
in
is.
the building. Let's get it. First question right there, baby.
You.
Yes, hello?
Hey, Daniela, it's Tristan calling you from DeliverThat.
Hey, Tristan.
Hey, I got something interesting for you. We got you on not live, but we have you on our DeliveringMore podcast, okay? It's a DeliverThat podcast right now.
Where's that?
It's not live. Okay, so do you have a minute? We're going to do a little bit of a segment called Know Your City, where we're going to ask you 3 questions about your city. And for each one you get right, you get a $5 incentive on your next delivery.
I don't understand what?
So we got you on the podcast, okay?
3 questions about my city.
3 questions about your city, correct. And for each one that you get right, you get $5 incentive on your next delivery.
Okay, so what do you want to ask about the city?
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah?
All right.
Question
All right,
number
prime
1.
yourself, all right? Okay, so here's question number 1. What is the most dominant language in Miami?
Spanish.
That is correct.
Spanish. That's an easy one.
That-
That's a softball.
And another good tip about that, Miami is the only U.S. city where English is the most studied language. But,
The
all
most
right.
studied.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so question 2. I'm gonna give you over to Ben here for question 2, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Daniela, it's Ben. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, Daniela. All right, question number 2. I'm not sure if this is going to be an easy one or a hard one, so we'll see, okay? What is the major U.S. highway that runs in Miami and all the way through Florida?
95. Interstate 95?
Interstate 95? Is that right?
Yeah, it goes all the way to Maine.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Is that the answer we're
That's
looking
the answer,
for?
yeah.
All right. I-95.
All right, Danielle, you're 2 for 3 right now. That's $10, okay? Are you ready for number 3?
Okay.
All right, don't stress yourself out. All right, this one's probably going to be the hardest of the 3, naturally,
There's
okay?
a bonus, too. There's a bonus, too.
Yep, and there's a bonus question.
Bonus. How many times?
Yep, how many times? And what was the bonus prize? We were going to send out a shirt.
A shirt.
We're going to send out a shirt for the bonus prize, all right?
Okay, good.
Okay. The bonus is pretty hard, though. But anyways, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
How many times has it snowed in Miami?
Once.
Oh, my
she
gosh.
got it.
It wasn't even hard.
No.
Is that common knowledge?
Yeah, we were going to give you
Daniela?
multiple choice, and you just got it before we even gave it
Is
to
that
you.
like a thing everybody knows?
Yeah, does everybody know that? Is that just a thing that everybody knows?
Maybe not.
Just Daniela.
Wow, she's just a rock
Okay, here's the
star.
bonus. All right, this is for the shirt. You already got the $15.
She already
You're
got
killing.
it.
No, the bonus is.
Oh, what year?
Would you know what year that was, Daniela?
I think I know there was like 1948 or something like that. It was 7 years ago. The year I don't remember.
Okay, the
Give
year.
it a guess. Give it a guess.
Okay, yeah, give it a guess. I'll give you a hint because this is not easy. It's going to be in the second half of the century of the 1900s.
It's a good clue.
There was 70 years ago.
No, not 70 years ago. It's in the second half of the century.
If it's not 48 or 78, was 1978?
You say 1978?
Yeah.
Oh my,
Was she close?
1977.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Man.
Can we send her half a shirt?
Yeah, let's send her half a shirt for that one. We're going to send you half a shirt, all right? Crop top. All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Daniela. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. You
Yeah,
know,
it's our second winner in a row.
Okay.
yeah, you're our second winner in a row. You got $15. Plus, we'll probably send that shirt out. You were real close. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon as usual.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you,
Thank
Daniela. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
That was awesome.
I don't know if I'm happy or upset that she got our hard question immediately.
We had multiple choices for the hard question, okay, because we thought it was going to be hard, like 4, like 12, or 1. She just goes 1 before I even got to
Yeah,
the
you
multiple
didn't even
choice.
get to list the options.
Yeah.
She just knew it. Can we, if you guys are in Miami or Florida or anywhere down that area, can you leave a comment? Is that a well-known fact? Because I feel like
I didn't know
we
that.
may have been swindled in our incentive process there.
Yeah, I think Jim might have sent her the answers before.
Yeah,
before
there's
this
some
podcast.
kind of collusion that happened there. I'm not sure how it happened. I don't really like that it happened. But I do love that we're giving out the money.
Yeah.
So she's getting that $15.
We should send her a shirt. We really should. That was 1 year off, and she guessed. I mean, I gave her a hint. Second half, that's 50 years she had to guess. That's 1 out of 50.
It was a great guess.
Yeah.
It was a great guess.
All right. Well, all right. That was awesome. Let's wrap this podcast up.
Yeah, I mean, that was, man, from Megan to Daniela. I mean, it's tough to beat a podcast like that, I think. I think our viewers will enjoy the listen or the watch, hopefully. And, hopefully we can bring back just as much energy and just as much interest on the next episode. Obviously, Jim, we're going to need to throw that link back down in the bottom here, DeliverThat.com/podcast. If you want to leave comments, ask questions that you want answered, if you want to come on the podcast with me and T, whoever it may be, or if you want to join the platform, there's a link to immediately begin the onboarding process. Please sign up. Please join the platform. We'd love to have you guys. Thank you so much for viewing again. Like, share, subscribe. We'll love to see you next week.
Thank you.